It's a Guy Jeans podcast.
Hey Bart, how you doing?
Good, Guy. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, you too, and thanks for being on my podcast. I'm excited. This next week, the Bart Hall show comes to Long Beach. Isn't that right?
It does come to Long Beach, and it's been a long road from when we started late in 2023 to put something together, and then on to this year, and we're already talking about 2025. Looking forward to the future and what we have planned, and it's going to be really good. I'm really excited. You know, the thing that we like most, Guy, we're not specific on any one thing. We like to think of ourselves as the ultimate outdoor experience. And I was thinking about it this morning. My dad and I used to go out. We'd camp way off the beaten path in the back. We'd take horses into the back country and camp and all that stuff. And I'm really excited that this year the show is starting to reflect the ideas that I have in my head of what outdoor recreation should be. And it's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see if people like it or not. I think they will.
Oh, absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about the history of the show. I know it was your dad who started it many years ago. Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Well, yes. My father was 4F and wasn't able to be in the service in the Second World War, but he did teach navigation and theory of flight for the Army Air Corps. And he then came back a little early, before in 45. And he got a job with a company called Crowd Management Incorporated, and they did ushers, ticket sellers, and gatemen for all of the sporting events in Southern California: the Rams, the Dodgers, the fights, the racetracks, everything. My dad grew up in Florida, where he was a avid fisherman and hunter, and he came to these guys and went, to his boss, and he said, his boss ended up being my godfather, but he said, "We should do a sportsman show." And my other famous answer was, "What the hell is a sportsman show?" And so that started in 1946. They started the first one at Gilmore Stadium. They moved over to the Pan Pacific Auditorium for a number of years, that's where it got famous. It started to get famous. And then they moved to the Great Western Exhibit Center. And from there, for 1 year to the LA Sports Arena, and then on to the Long Beach Convention Center, where it's been ever since. And 46 years ago, actually it was 48, we went down to San Diego and started down there at Golden Hall, and then moved on to the Del Mar Fairgrounds 2 years later.
Unbelievable.
76 years here, even though it's 78 years in business, we didn't do shows for 21 and 22. So 76 years here and 46 in Del Mar.
You think about how long, that has been, and how many people have been introduced to the outdoors through your guys' shows. It's got to be unbelievable.
That's a really good observation, Guy, because I'm going to give you a statistic right now.
Yeah.
We didn't put good records, and I'm going to give you a very, very conservative estimate, which is probably much higher. But we estimate 1.5 million kids through our Kids Fish Free Trout Pond. Mm-hmm. 1.5 million kids fish there, a lot of them for the very first time. A lot of them got their first fish there.
Yes.
Those kids grew up, got married, had kids of their own, grandkids. I mean, the number of anglers that have been started by the Hall shows is incalculable, and it's something I'm very proud of and very excited to continue.
Just to kind of give you an idea, the amount of time I've been doing your show. Well, first I'm going to go back. I became a fly shop owner and fishing guide because of your show, and I don't know if I told you that before, but. It's pretty incredible. I was a younger man and going through your show, and this is when you had a fly fishing section, and I found a gentleman there that was doing guide schools in Montana. I went to that guide school, and then ended up opening up my own shop and guide service and school. And going back, it must be thousands of people that I've introduced to the sport of fly fishing because of your show.
I know we did have that discussion before. When you told me the number, I was astounded.
Yeah.
It's not like around the corner. These people have to travel to see you.
Yeah.
But, that's very interesting, Guy. But, it kind of reinforces a lot of the stuff I feel about life. I mean, you're really good at what you do. You're really charismatic, and people really connect with you. So you're doing the perfect thing, and it's great.
Thank you. So tell me, what's going on this year at the show? You have some overland stuff going on. Is that new?
Yes, and it's something I've been working on now for several years. I'm always working a year and a half, 2 years in front, trying to put things together, do the best we can. Like I started out saying, I grew up camping, fishing the backcountry, fishing the shore, the surf, fishing piers, fishing the jetties with my dad, going out boats. I've done it all, and I've hunted as well in much of that territory. And other times, just taken my wife and gotten away and hung out where nobody could find us. And I love it. I just love it. And I think it's more necessary now than it's ever been. People got to get away from the cell phones. Get your kids away from the cell phones. Just get out there in the middle of nowhere and just take a deep breath and look at the stars at night. And whether it's on a boat in the ocean or whether it's in a campsite in the middle of nowhere. And so that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to create. I'm not just fishing, but hunting and outdoor travel and international travel for fishing and hunting. And this overland thing is brand new, and I've been trying to get it for years. This year we have a good foothold with it. Not as much as I'd like to have, but probably we've got about, I think 5,000 square feet of space of just overland.
Nice.
That's a pretty good start. And then I believe within the next 3 years, we'll have a bigger overland section than any other outdoor recreation show in the Western United States, maybe the country. So.
And when you say overland, just so for people that don't know, overland's kind of like going in the backcountry with like your 4x4, and you have like campers on your trucks and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, there's off-road, and that's kind of a basic, overland's kind of like glamping.
Yeah.
It's glorified off-road is what it is. Yeah. And it's really cool stuff.
Some of the things that those guys have are unbelievable.
It is. It's I don't know anything about this thing, so I'm finding out as I go along. I go, man, I wish I'd have known about this when I was 20.
Yeah. Some of the seminars that you have going, I think you have 5 different stages going. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am impressed by all the different speakers that you have and celebrities, basically, that are going to be speaking at your show. I've become friends with a lot of them because I've had them on this podcast, and which has been a blast as well. And Rusty Brown, Rich Tauber, both of them are going to be speaking at the show about bass. And then you also have fly fishing going on as well, some fly fishing seminars as well as saltwater seminars. Anything else that I didn't mention?
Well, we have a dedicated marine electronics seminars. Well, most people realize that this is the only show that has the volume of marine electronics that we have. That's all provided by Johnson Hicks, but they bring in all these factories, and we have a tremendous selection of marine electronics, all at unbelievable prices, and their own seminar area right next to this big section of marine electronics, where they will do seminars and tell you how to use this stuff. And so there's that. There's of course the Mammoth Lake stage where you are. That's probably our second oldest. That's probably actually our oldest stage. Then we got the Accurate stage where we have a lot of the saltwater stuff. The Iowa stage this year is in the main room. It was off at the other room before last year. This year it's right there. So and behind that is the fly fishing seminar area. And so there's a lot of activity going on. And if you don't buy anything, if you just come and go to the seminars, you're going to be blown away. Pat McDonald is the one who put this together. He, the editor of Western Outdoor News for 35 years. He retired. He was good enough to come help us out. He's been helping us out the last 2 years. Did a fabulous job putting these seminars together. And the one I am really excited about is 3:15 on Saturday afternoon, a 2-hour symposium of women in fishing. I don't know why we
that's
didn't
cool.
do it before. I know, it's so cool. And when we started thinking about all the women we know who are in the industry, we had too many to have on the stage. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. I intend to really film that, get pictures of it, and we're going to try to reprise the same thing down in Del Mar because it's a really good idea. That's the growth of fishing.
We're seeing a huge influx of women coming into the outdoors. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's where the future is. There's no doubt about it.
So you also have boats as well, right? I mean, hundreds of boats.
Yeah, I didn't intend to do this, Guy. I didn't intend to be the only boat show in California, but we are. I mean, there's other things, events that have boats, but they have a few boats. I mean, we literally have over 100 boats at every one of our events, and when we get to the boat show, we have over 200.
Oh, really?
So, no, it's ridiculous, and it's a great time for people if you're thinking about buying a boat or have thought about buying a boat. Come to the shows. These guys, when I started this, coming back to business again over a year ago, everybody said, "Well, you don't want to have a boat show." I mean, because these boat dealers are selling everything they could get from the factories. The factories can't deliver. Well, that's true, but from the time I booked the dates until we got ready to book some space, that all changed. Factories were delivering. Demand was slowing down. Well, that was fine. It was a good year last year. This year, because of the interest rate hike, demand has shut off, and these boat dealers are sitting there with all hundreds of boats, flooring them with the banks. They need to get rid of their inventory, and that's why we're packed at every show, because every one of these dealers wants to sell you a boat at a great price, price of a lifetime, probably.
That's a good thing to know if people want to get a boat. And we got full lakes now. I mean, the fishing's been great off the coast. I mean, it's a good time to get a boat for sure.
It's the best. I've been in the boat business my whole life. I used to be a rep in the boat business before I worked with my dad. It's the best time I've ever seen. All the forces are, and the interest rates are starting to come back. This is the best time ever right now to buy a boat, period.
Well, a little bit off the show real quick. Are you playing any music, or have you gone to see any music?
No, but I'm looking forward to it because there's a band there. You and I ought to go out there and sit in. Is what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, why not? I'm paying these guys. I go, hey, we're going to sit in.
Heck yeah. Well, awesome. So the Long Beach show is January 25th through the 28th, and then the Del Mar show is February 15th through the 18th, and then is the boat show in Pomona new?
We did it last year, but
we
did it first. And so this year it's only 3 days. It's March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Okay.
But, I only know about fishing boats, pontoon boats and the stuff that we've had forever. But I have a partner in the boat show, and he was the guy who built some products that made fast boats go faster. So he was kind of a legend in the fast boat industry, the race boat stuff. And he's put together. I got the regular boats in there, and he's got all these high performance boats and race boats filling up 2 whole halls. It's quite a boat show, and I had nothing to do with that part. I don't know anything about it, but I know the other part. So between the two of us, we've done a really good job.
Awesome. Well, Bart, I just wanted to do a quick little promo of the show, and I really appreciate you being on my podcast, and I will see you next week.
I'm looking forward to it, Guy.
All right, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. With everything going on in the world today, right now could be the best time ever to diversify your retirement savings with precious metals like gold and silver. I just bought some precious metals myself, and I got them from the top-rated company Goldco. They couldn't have made the process easier, and their customer service was impeccable. Goldco has helped thousands of people just like you and me place over $2.5 billion in gold and silver. They're rated A+ by Better Business Bureau. They've earned over 5,000 5-star reviews. They're a 7-time Incorporated 5,000 winner. And that's just mentioning a few of their accomplishments. There's plenty more. Right now, for my listeners, they're offering up to $10,000 in bonus silver. You heard that right, up to $10,000 in bonus silver, but only while supplies last. Go to goldco.com/guy to learn more. That's goldco.com/guy. Diversify your savings with gold and silver today at goldco.com/guy.
It's a Guy Jeans podcast.